Previously on the inventory.
For quite some time now, we here at the inventory have been in actual contact with these bronies. They have the ability to communicate with us, and we have the means to communicate back.
Now I want whoever it was that poisoned the tea to speak up so we can find out who is behind this.
You are so preoccupied with seeking out enemies that you are neglecting the true enemies that are right in front of you. Hardcover, your bag is completely filled with poison joke.
It was you all along!
He's not the one who put poison joke in the tea. I was.
Kirk, what are you talking about?
I should have realized I wasn't paying attention. But what have I done? I could have been fired. The show could have been canceled. You could have been hurt.
So I came in early this morning before the station opened. I hid myself on the other side of the door and snagged this picture with my camera. Check it out.
It's Freelance.
Name's Freelance, uncoverer of the undercover. I've been given a mission, and I'm going to carry it out no matter which ponies get in my way. Though it looked like the truth is out. Fine! Yes! I am a proud servant of the changeling brood. I was sent here by the Hive in order to secure the portal that you have been using to communicate with them, so that we may invade their world and feast on the overabundance of love!
Portal? But there is no portal.
It seems that I have failed in my mission. So long, Airways!
Hey, you threw out the sun! I can't believe we let him get away like that!
It's okay, Fairy Tale. I don't think we'll have to worry about Freelance for quite a while.
Anyway, I'm just glad it's finally over. At least now I can move on with some peace of mind.
So she's really gone. Nicole left me in charge. I'm gonna need all of you to help me make the show even better than it was before.
And now for the continuation of the inventory on KPNY.
Alright. About time you three showed up. Let's finish hooking up the QED mic. Let's bring back some old times, doesn't it? We haven't been in this staff room since that day when we had our first meeting. This is where it all started, remember?
No, I wasn't around yet, remember?
Oh, yeah. You were kind of the sixth ranger on that one.
The sixth what?
Judging by the condition of the room, I would wager that no pony has been in here since that meeting. Look, there's still pretzels scattered everywhere. How unsanitary. What does Orange Glow even get paid to do anyway?
Sound effects, if I may ask, why is the QED set up in here? Doesn't that mean that the meeting will be broadcast all of Equestria and Earth?
Well, yeah, it's my best idea yet. Behind the scenes at KPNY, the inventory secrets revealed. What the ponies of KPNY do in their private lives when they think they're alone.
Okay, you stay away from my house.
But these meetings are supposed to be private. Isn't that a breach of contract?
We signed contracts?
Regardless, we'd best hurry and take our positions. Seems Airwaves is running a tight ship today, and he can be here at any moment.
Alright, team, settle down. We have a lot to work on ahead of us. Look, now... Sound effects? Is that microphone on?
No, it was just left in here.
Right. So anyway, I'm sure you're all wondering why I've all called you in here today.
Oh no. He's got a shark tank underneath the floor!
What?
I've seen this before. No pony say a word. The first one to answer the question will be dropped through a secret hole in the floor into a tank of sharks. He'll be all, "You have failed me for the last time."
What? No! How could I have built a tank of sharks underneath the studio without any pony noticing? Besides, where would I even get sharks?
The chairs must be electrified! You diabolical fiend! You'll never get away with your evil plan!
Would any pony else like to guess why I've all gathered you here today?
Whoa, me!
Yes, hardcover.
Are you changing the paper in the copier from plain to extra glossy? What? You know how much I like paper.
Dear Celestia, what have I gotten myself into?
You'd be better off if you just go ahead and say it already.
Right. Well, now since I've been promoted to the show manager for the inventory, there are going to be some changes around here.
You got her, Sheriff.
Yes, of course. With you undertaking a plethora of new responsibilities, the show will be in need of a new host. The time of my ascension hath come!
No. I'm still going to be host.
Oh, phooey.
Now then, I'll need every pony to step up their research so we can keep up with the demand of...
Excuse me?
Can I help you? We're kind of in the middle of a meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Waves. I didn't know you didn't want to be disturbed. It's just that I brought you some hot tea.
Since when could KPNY afford a caterer? whatever. Just leave the tea on the desk and please leave.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry for disturbing you. Ew, there are pretzels everywhere.
Hey, careful. Watch what you're doing.
Wait,
Whoa,
oh,
no, stop! Right on my...
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'll get this cleaned up right away. Anything I can do to help? Do you want a towel or an ice pack, maybe?
No, just stop. You've done quite enough already. Thank you. Just leave.
Yes, sir, Mr. Waves. I'm so sorry. If there's anything else you need, anything at all, just feel free to ask.
Why would I need any more help from a clumsy caterer like you?
Caterer? I'm not a caterer, sir. I'm your new assistant.
Oh, no.
I came all the way from Cloudsdale just to work for you, Mr. Waves. My name is Sunshower, but most ponies call me Sunny.
Not that I don't appreciate the offer, but I really don't need an assistant. So you can just go back to Cloudsdale and spill tea on some pony else, all right?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid I can't. The letter from Boss Pony said...
Letter? What letter?
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. I was kind of supposed to give this to you.
To whoever is the new manager of the inventory. Seriously, does he not know my name yet? Due to the increase of sponsorship and funding brought to you about, wow, he doesn't know how to type. By the recent increase in ratings have allowed us to introduce new policies regarding yada yada, lippity, whatever. Yeah, here we go. All show managers are now required to have a personal assistant that will be assigned to them by the station. Feathertastic.
And when I heard the position opened up, I immediately quit my old job and signed up to be your assistant.
Why?
Oh, because you've always been my hero.
Wait. How do you know me?
Of course. We worked together at the Cloudsdale Coliseum. Of course, I wouldn't expect you to remember me. I was just a low-level event coordinator. But you were an amazing broadcaster. I would always tune into listening to you. I even still have your autograph.
I never signed autographs.
Well, technically it's just an order form you signed, but still, I even framed it. I'm your biggest fan.
Looks like you hit the jackpot this time, Airwaves.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, so I guess I'm stuck with you, huh?
Until the end, sir.
Listen, Sunny, was it? Could you please not call me sir? Airwaves is just fine.
Whatever you say, Mr. Waves. Now, how can I be of service?
I honestly have no idea.
I can get you some more tea if you'd like.
No! Please, no, just...
Iced tea?
Listen, if you really need something to do, I guess you can start by cleaning up this room. I suppose some pony ought to.
Right away, Mr. Waves. I'll go fetch the broom right away.
She was way too eager to agree to that.
Perhaps. Maybe I should keep an eye on her.
What am I gonna do?
Come on, how bad could it be? Nothing wrong with some pony giving you an extra helping hoof, right? You can't do everything by yourself, Airwaves.
Yeah, plus, she seems nice. Just give her a chance.
And if anything, she'll offer up some nice entertainment considering what just happened.
Sound effects?
Yes'm?
Have you hooked up the new gizmo to the QED yet?
It's called the Quantum Frequency Audiographer.
Yeah, whatever. I can't pronounce it. Is it hooked up or not?
Almost. I've got it primed to register the QED frequency and divide the audio rift into divergent particle amplifications, but I still need to route the new signal through the station equipment using variable flux identifiers that will...
Stop! Just get it done, alright? It's almost showtime, and you promise this, whatever it is, will be able to do whatever you say it does by the end of the day.
Yes, Mr. Waves.
Oh, Celestia, help me. Welcome every pony and every brony to the inventory on KPNY Radio. Ponybills Radio! If you're not listening to KPNY Radio, then you're probably not listening to the radio. I'm your host, Airwaves, and we have a rather unique show for you this fine day. Now, it's not often that this happens, but I myself have stumbled upon a brony work that I have found to be so fascinating, I just had to share it with the rest of you. And by myself. Now, if you remember last time, I had another pony of the crew fill in as host for me, but it seems that the rest of the staff are all currently preoccupied with other commitments today. Such a shame, because originally I was going to ask our own fairy tale to host today, but unfortunately he got dragged off to a librarian's conference in Canterlot. I tried to ask him more about it, but apparently the entire affair is rather hush-hush. So for the first time, I will be presenting today's piece alone here in the booth. I must admit this is a rather odd feeling. It's been quite a while since I had to carry a broadcast by myself. But I will admit, it does feel rather nice to be surrounded by peace and quiet for once. So today, it will only be you, me, and the wonderful...
Gain weight coming through. Wide load.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Hey, Airwaves, how you doing? Started the show already? Oh, that's cool.
What in the princesses' names are you doing here? I'm supposed to be doing the show alone, remember?
Well, you told me to get the audiographer hooked up to the equipment and ready to go by the end of the day, so I decided better sooner than later, right?
But this is a live broadcast!
Oh, don't mind me. I won't get in the way. Just keep on doing what you're doing. You won't even know I'm here.
But the QED needs to...
Jacques got it.
Jacques?
Yeah, the inflatable autopilot. Programmed it myself.
I swear you're gonna turn my man gray. Alright, so like I was saying, today I bring to you... So once again, I have found an entire sub-community of Brony writers. What started off as a standalone, ambitious story has since branched out into several side stories and other inspired media.
Ow! Ouch! Burned my hoof. If only I could invent some machine that would allow me to levitate.
Today I will be giving you a brief overview into this series, and let me tell you, it's quite a find. I was actually pretty lucky to stumble across it. I honestly think I might even be the first one to even know about it, and I must warn you, this story isn't one for the faint of heart. An expansive behemoth of a novel that's over 600,000 words. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic Equestria, and it's in the post-apocalyptic Equestria, where war has transformed our beautiful land into an inhospitable wasteland, and where many ponies have been forced to live their lives in isolated underground communities called stables.
Wait. You mean Fallout Equestria?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, what you just described, it's Fallout Equestria, right?
How in blazes did you know that?
Well, because it's one of the most well-known stories in the entire Brony community, maybe?
What are you talking about? I found it all on my own.
On what? The first page of a Huffle search? Any Brony who's any Brony has at least heard of Fallout Equestria. A stable dweller named Little Pip goes on an adventure with a colorful cast of ponies to discover the secrets of pre-war Equestria. Everyone's read it.
Well then, it will be my duty to inform the ponies who haven't read it, so they can too also enjoy the story.
Yeah, you do that. Now where did I put that welding torch? I swore it was here somewhere.
Okay. As I was saying before sound effects interjected, Fallout Equestria is one heck of a tale. It focuses around the trek of a young mare by the name of Little Pip, who, after emerging from her stable, is in search of a pony who has escaped from said stable. And, as sound effects said, she does indeed explore the toxic waste with a slew of companions, who are all indeed very unique.
Unique? That's an understatement. The mental states of some of the characters in that story make you look competent.
Excuse me?
Kidding. Kidding. You're only half nuts. Nuts? Oh, dagnabbit, where'd I put my nuts and bolts?
So! Fallout Equestria takes place in an alternate reality of Equestria, and let me tell you, our beautiful land is transformed into quite a Tartarus hole.
Airwaves. Such language. Flying feathers. Might as well tell them about the war.
Hey, whose presentation do you think this is?
I'm just trying to help out a little.
You can help out by making less noise!
Fine. You know what? This will impede progress, but I can drill softer with the smaller drill I've brought.
So, in this version of Equestria, the ideals of friendship and magic give way to greed and hatred, sparking a resource war between Equestria and a foreign country. This resource war accelerates the growth of our own technology and our willingness to use it in combat. Eventually, both sides develop weapons of mass destruction, and they use it against each other, plunging the world into an abyss of fire and radioactive particles.
Oh, speaking of radioactive particles, Airwaves, you might not want to use the KPNY restrooms for about a month or so.
What does that have to do with...
Just an experiment.
You know what? I don't even want to know. back to the story. The war leaves Equestria with nothing more than... everything is just... Wow, that drill, seriously. Equestria is nothing more than a smoldering wasteland. And in this wasteland, no pony is your friend. At least, that's what the main character is led to believe. This new Equestria is chock full of challenges that the heroes have to face, including...
warring faction slavers willing to torture and then sell you to anyone for a profit, radioactive beasts that have been mutated through a vile substance known as taint, and psychotic drug addicts who slaughter for fun and consume the flesh of their foes. How fun.
Sound effects? You're scaring me.
What? Not allowed to salivate over a story like hardcover? The story itself takes place among the decrepit ruins of our beautiful homeland, where little Pip uncovers lost history and relics of the pre-war world, overcomes emotional obstacles, and is faced with one of the largest threats to Equestria since the Great War. On her journey, she meets a plethora of individuals who influence her and help shape her into the mare that brings light and prosperity to the wasteland.
Okay. Seriously. How did you know that was exactly what I was going to say? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. Not only is Fallout Equestria one of the largest works of fiction that the Brony community has spawned, it is also the catalyst for the creation of a plethora of side stories. The most noteworthy of these is Fallout Equestria Project Horizons, which stars a fresh new cast that go even deeper into the harsh history of the wasteland, clocking in at over 1.2 million words. It's nearly double the length of the original story, and it's still being written. However, I should mention that this book is not for the faint of heart. This particular work far exceeds the core story in darkness, and I would highly advise both ponies and bronies who are easily traumatized to read this with caution.
I'm surprised. That was a pretty thorough presentation. I almost couldn't do it better myself.
Well, thank you. When we come back from our commercial break, we'll go deeper into the psychological and philosophical nature of this story, comprehensively looking at the...
Boom shakalaka! I'm done! The quantum frequency audiographer is now completely set up to the broadcasting equipment. Are you ready for your new segment?
Wait, what new segment?
A live interview with an actual brony. Duh.
What in the world are you talking about?
That's what this audiographer does. It takes a signal that is already broadcasting to Earth and makes a feedback loop, which is rewired through KPNY's call-in system. This allows us to actually call and talk to bronies. The signal might be a tad fuzzy, but it will totally work.
And you didn't bother to tell any pony about this?
Well, no pony particularly asked.
Oh, don't even start sound effects. We can't just do a live interview out of nowhere on the air.
Well, you better tell that to the brony on the other end. He's already waiting.
This is bad. This is very bad. What am I supposed to do?
Cut to commercial. I need a minute or two to get the equipment warmed up before we can complete the connection. We'll be right back, every pony, and when we return, the first human ever to be heard in Equestria, live, right here, on KPNY Radio.
This is a public service announcement from your local KPNY news service. The giant white ball seen rising in the eastern horizon is expected to fall in the west sometime in the early morning. No injuries have been reported and cries of panic have been greatly exaggerated. An inside royal source calls it a phenomenon and advises citizens to prepare for a reoccurrence in the very near future. We've reached out to Princess Celestia only to receive the comment of contact the appropriate shift manager as a response. Once again, this has been a KPNY News public service announcement.
This is Radio Sports on KPNY, and I'm Jockey Straps with the sports. The Iron Pony competition took a step up this year by making their events a bit more suspenseful. How, you ask? One example would be by adding a live alligator to the pond for the tug-of-war competition. Even with the newly added danger, injuries were minimal as the gator had no teeth. I am Jockey Straps, and that's the sports on KPNY.
This is your local news at KPNY, and I'm your local correspondent, Press Release. Newsflash! Bunches of beach balls found stashed in random locations around Ponyville baffles bystanders. Bouncy balloon lover believed to be the blame. Why are these toys stashed all over the place? What is their purpose? Details at 11. I'm Press Release.
Welcome back, every pony, to the inventory on KPNY Radio. Now, if you're just tuning in, you're in for quite a treat. I hope. Thanks to Sound Effects' determination, he has successfully gotten KPNY in contact with an actual bona fide Brony. That's right, every pony. And by that, I mean, we are going to be conducting a live interview with said Brony right here, right now. What could possibly go wrong? Now, during the break, I was able to compile together some last-minute questions for our guest, whose name I don't even know yet. Sound Effects, who is this guy anyway?
Don't worry about it. He's one of my pen pals.
Now I'm worried. Can I at least get a name?
Oh yeah, right. I kind of, sort of forgot to mention that. His name is Dustykatt.
These humans' names just get more and more ridiculous. Alright then, Sound Effects. Do your thing, I guess.
Connection's a bit wonky, and hope this holds up. Okay.
That's promising. Alright, let's do this.
QED power's at 100%. Fine-tuning the audiographer. And linked. All you, Mr. Waves.
Keep it down. Is this thing working?
Earth to Equestria. Earth to Equestria. Do you read me?
Hello? Is this Dustykatt?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Airwaves. Sound Effects has told me a lot about you, man.
He has?
Oh, absolutely. He's told me you've been putting up a pretty good fight for us over there. You know, it's good to we have friends over on that other side.
I was just telling it like it is. You bronies don't deserve some of the things that some ponies say about you.
Honestly, it's the same here among us humans. Sometimes, you just have to be the bigger person, or pony in this case. You just ignore what they say.
Wow, you all get the same problem over on Earth? Who would have thought? I guess that our worlds aren't that different from each other than we originally thought.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, would have liked to believe that, but we got to this point of interdimensional communication, and we would have gotten rid of this problem in society a long time ago.
Oh, speaking of interdimensional communication, well, I'm sure we could converse for hours about how our worlds are similar or different. I'm pretty sure the ponies here of Equestria would love to know a little more about you humans. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So, Dustykatt, I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us ponies here when I ask some of these questions, and I'm sure a lot of us are dying to know. How are the ruling princesses of Earth?
Well, Earth isn't really ruled by princesses, you know. We have different countries ruled by people with presidents, prime ministers, chancellors, and royalty.
Oh, they all sound all that important. So if they rule you, who's in charge of the sun and the moon of Earth?
Nobody. No one does. They kind of work they work themselves around the Earth.
Wait, you're joking. How does the sun and moon work themselves?
Well, there's this huge scientific theory. It would be extremely long to explain, but they just work themselves. I know it would seem strange, but that's just how it works here on Earth.
Oh, I see. Well, I know what else. I noticed you humans like to wear clothes a lot. So that raises a question. If you're all wearing clothes, how can you see each other's cutie marks?
We don't really have cutie marks.
Seriously? I mean, considering all the awesome content that bronies create, how can you not have cutie marks? How can you tell what your special talent is?
Well, that's the thing that makes us humans special, you know. We don't really know what our special talent is, so we can go out and try a bunch of things. I've done a lot of things in my life, and you go and find your one. There's no one true special talent. But as we try to find it, we discover all these great talents we never knew we had.
So humans can have multiple special talents?
Yep.
Truly fascinating. Here's probably an easy question for you. So what do you do as a brony?
Well, I do a lot of things, but the main thing I'm known for is I host a show about the bronies.
A show? What kind of show?
Well, it's kind of a talk show, very similar to what you guys do.
What do you talk about on your show?
Just the usual things. We'll get a very important brony, or we'll get a very important person who works on certain shows. Whether it's news or talking to very important guests, then we have big influences in writing within the community. Tons of people. We just talk about all kinds of stuff.
That's pretty cool. I guess we have a lot more in common than I thought. So, what's your favorite type of brony-made content?
Oh, geez, there's tons of it. I mean, I'll flip around between comics to still art to music to gaming to everything. I mean, there's not really one thing that really blows my mind more than any other.
Wow, I never would have guessed. Kind of very, open palette.
Well, yeah, man, it's just a bunch of awesome things. But hey, mind if I ask you a question?
Oh, sure, ask away.
What's it like living in Ponyville?
It's okay, I guess. Lots of farmland, very quiet town. Well, for the most part, anyway. When it's not being taken over by some, big disaster or some evil villain, which seems like it's becoming more and more frequent, actually, now that you think about it.
Here's another one. What are the main six like?
The who?
Oh, well, the ponies who are the bearers of the elements of harmony?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really had to deal with them. Sure, I've seen them around town a lot, and I've had a few passing exchanges with them from time to time, but not enough to really get to know any of them. You know how it's like being a broadcaster, extremely busy, and I'm pretty sure you can relate to that.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Try going to a convention where bronies gather where you have to work and then take care of your show duties while there. Talk about running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
I can definitely relate to that. Guess we're a special kind of breed to be broadcasters.
By the way, Sound Effects had mentioned to me before in our previous exchanges that you don't really like a certain mare by the name of Rainbow Dash. Why not?
It's not that I don't like her. I would just rather...
I'm guessing something happened between you and her.
Well, not so much like that, but I suppose you could say so. She's kind of the reason I got fired from my old job back in Cloudsdale.
What? She got you fired? Intentionally?
Not exactly.
Perhaps if it wasn't intentional, maybe you should... not hold it against her.
Yeah, but...
I'm not going to tell you how to feel about what happened before, but if she didn't do it on purpose, perhaps you should just let it go, Airwaves. I bet if you talk to her, she'd even apologize. Think about it. It wouldn't be the very pony-like thing to do to not to want to try and talk to her.
Well, I suppose you're right, but I'll get around to it when I feel the time is right.
Well, there you go. I wouldn't ask for anything more.
Pony-like. Speaking of that, Dusty, I have one final question for you. How did you bronies ever discover us?
Now, there is a story I'd be happy to tell. You see, it started back several years ago. The first bronies had ever mentioned of you.
Sound effects? What just happened?
Let me see. Well, damn, there seems to be some sort of energy drain on the QED.
Well then, boost the energy.
I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power. Hold on, I haven't tried this button yet. Oh, I hope that wire wasn't important.
That explains everything.
Not quite.
Can we get him back at all? That doesn't sound promising. Well then, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut the broadcast off a little short today, every pony.
But, I mean, I can...
It's alright, Sound Effects. You did your best. But for now, this is Airwaves on KPNY, signing off.
I totally had that.
So what happened?
Well, after some preliminary hammer banging...
There's that term again.
I figured out that the audiographer lost power mid-interview, and, well, without it, you get the idea.
Any idea why it lost power?
I mean, if I had to take a Dr. Who's guess, I'd say that the QED couldn't really handle any auxiliary power output on top of its primary function. But if I calibrated the audiographer to the proper Hertz rating and then gyro-stabilized...
You just lost me.
All I have to do is reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Just give me a quick... Got it! Ah, yes!
Hey. So, we back? What happened there, guys?
Well, let me give you the simple, non-sound effects version. The QED can't handle the strain to do cross-dimensional communication.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, tell me about it. The current output, the QED can't sustain an open channel like this for too long.
Hey, here's an idea for you. Maybe you shouldn't start at full power. Try testing it with slight increases in power. Perhaps set up to a lower powered system that pushes its limits little by little. Get that machine of yours more acclimated to this sort of thing.
Yeah, but exactly what could we do?
Try setting up a shorter range system that doesn't involve cross-dimensional talk. Something that you can test just on your end and fine-tune it enough until you're ready to do an interview with another Brony. Remember, you gotta learn how to crawl before you walk, or trot, that is.
Oh, I have an idea! Dusty, you're a genius! We can set up the QED's audiographer to do short-range transmissions. I can integrate it into KPNY's old phone call-in system.
I don't know.
Think about it, Airwaves. We could finally have an excuse to have ponies to call in and be a part of the show. And I can use this opportunity to do some stress testing.
Hey, there it is then. Get some of your fellow ponies to call in and see what they think about us Bronies. Get their side of the story. Plus, I'm sure all of us on this end would love to hear what they have to say.
You have a point there, Dusty. Alright, let's do this. Sound effects, make it happen.
You got it, boss. This will be a cakewalk.
So much for a cakewalk.